Ho ho ho, friends of cocktails! This is the season of giving, and if you have friends who are into cocktails, I have some gift ideas for you. From homemade bitters, bottled cocktails, festive drinks, to barware and books that will upgrade anyone's cocktail game. Whether you go for something homemade to make it a little extra personal, or with things that you know will add to someone's growing collection, you'll find something perfect for that special someone. Or wait until the end for 2 extra ideas on how to make your friends of cocktails happy. So stick around, it's cocktail time. Let's start with what you can make yourself and present as a gift. I'll show you a new technique on how to make homemade bitters and use them to make a bottled old-fashioned, both with a festive twist of course. Then we'll go through how we can make 2 Christmas time staples, eggnog and Coca-Cola, but homemade, and so they'll all look as good as they taste. We made special holiday themed labels for all of these, and you can download them through the link in the description. We've done homemade bitters before, and plenty of pre-batched cocktails, including a classic old-fashioned. I'll link all of those in the description as well, so everyone can find what they like. Now, let's make rapid infused festive bitters, which take only a few hours to make, start to finish. Here's what you'll need, alongside the base spirit, the flavoring agents and the bittering agents, which we'll go over later. You'll need a cream whipper. I'm using a Nisi Gourmet whip, cream chargers, a precision scale, a mortar and a pestle, and small bottles, either with a pipette or special dasher bottles. And to be honest, any of these things would also make an excellent gift for someone who likes making homemade cocktail ingredients. All you have to do is measure out all of your ingredients, then add them to the siphon. This ingenious technique to speed up the lengthy maceration process is described by Dave Arnold in his Liquid Intelligence book. For the base spirit, I'm going with 350 ml of Plantation Original Dark Rum. At 40% ABV, it means we won't have to dilute the bitters at the end. Then we go in with our festive flavoring agents, which I weighed in advance. 2.8 grams of cloves, 1.4 gram of star anise, 9.4 gram of cassia cinnamon, 10 grams of allspice, 2 gram of cardamom, 0.3 gram of nutmeg, and 2.6 grams of coriander. I'll crush all of these to create more surface area, which will provide more flavor. Transfer to the siphon and add the remaining ingredients, 2 grams of a vanilla bean, halved lengthwise, shinsona bark, and wormwood, 1.5 gram each. Then close the siphon and charge it with the first cream charger. Give everything a good shake for about 20 seconds before adding another N2O charger. The pressure will force the liquid into the pores of our flavoring and bittering agents, infusing it much faster than the traditional way. 1 hour will be enough, but give it a shake a few times in that period. Once the 60 minutes are up, carefully release the pressure, which will also release the infused liquid from the solid particles. Wait for the bubbling to end before moving on to the next step, filtering. Filter the bitters through a coffee filter, which will still take its time. Then measure out how much you'll end up with. This is important because we'll add a hint of sweetness with a 1:1 Demerara syrup, just 3 ml for every 60 ml of the total volume of bitters. I ended up with 300 ml, so I'm adding 15 ml of Demerara syrup. Then bottle into your selected bottles. And that's your first gift idea done, and there will be enough to go around, including for yourself. As far as making bitters goes, it doesn't get any faster than that. But what can these be used in? I'm glad you asked. Our second gift idea, a pre-batched Christmas old-fashioned. Here's what you'll need. Besides bourbon and our holiday bitters, you'll also need a 2:1 ginger syrup and some saline solution. Cocktail syrups can make great gifts as well, and I've done a version of a homemade spicy ginger syrup in a special syrups episode. To make it even easier, you can get Liber & Co.'s fiery ginger syrup, which is made from juiced fresh ginger root as well, providing a perfect burn needed to enhance a wide variety of cocktails. Click on the link in the description to find the range of their syrups. But I wanted our pre-batched Christmas old-fashioned to be clear, so I made this syrup with dehydrated ginger. It's super simple to make. Into a pot, add 200 grams of Demerara sugar, 100 grams of water, and 20 grams of dehydrated ginger pieces. This will give it a pleasant ginger aroma, but without so much of a spicy ginger kick. Place on medium heat. Stir to mix and cover with a lid. Once it starts simmering, stir again and leave covered for another 3 minutes on low heat. At that point, turn off the heat and leave it to cool completely. Then filter it through a mesh strainer. Transfer to a bottle, and it's done. To make the right amount of old-fashions for your bottles, I've added a cocktail calculator to my website, gamingcost.com. Just add the total volume you want and you'll get the grams you'll need. It's all about the scales if you want to be precise. I'm going for a single 700ml bottle, so I need 575 grams of 45% ABV bourbon. I'm using Maker's Mark today, but I'd love to hear which is your favorite whiskey for an old-fashioned. For sweetness, I need 73 grams of a rich ginger demerara syrup. The ginger notes will pair nicely with our next festive ingredient, the bitters. 16 grams is again something you are better off measuring with a precision scale, and we'll use that for the last ingredient as well, 0.85 grams of saline solution. This is 1 part salt dissolved in 4 parts water. Then just turn the bottle to mix the ingredients. We didn't add any water, so it will need to be diluted over ice before drinking. But it has enough alcohol, so it can stay under the Christmas tree for a few weeks. A perfect gift. But what if someone would like something lighter, and even more in the holiday spirit? Well, eggnog. Gingerbread Cookie Eggnog. Since the episode is nearly 2 years old, I'll just quickly go over how to make it. You'll first need to make a gingerbread cookie syrup, which I made in a 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗟𝗦. It's as easy as combining demerara sugar, muscovado sugar, honey, fresh ginger, sale and cinnamon, a couple of cloves, a little bit of a vanilla bean, some nutmeg, and of course water, all in a 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗟𝗦 bag, which you place in a waterbed for 5 hours, set at 60 degrees Celsius or 140 Fahrenheit. Then strain, bottle, and start making the eggnog with it. I started with adding 2 egg yolks into a blender and running it at the slowest speed. Wait 30 seconds before adding each next ingredient, starting with our gingerbread cookie syrup. Next, now at a higher speed, add milk. And finally, aged rum, Pedro Ximénez sherry, and saline solution. Transfer to a bowl, place in the fridge for a couple of hours, and in the meantime, lightly beat egg whites to get soft peaks. Gently fold the egg whites into the eggnog. The finishing touch is a grating of nutmeg over the top. Serve as a treat or bottle as a gift. One thing that's almost as synonymous with the holiday season as eggnog and Santa Claus is the red Coca-Cola truck with his face on it. For over 25 years, it's been bringing the message across the globe that this is the season. So why not gift a few bottles of homemade cola? Kevin Cola, just like the original taste of Coca-Cola, has quite a long list of ingredients, but once you have everything, it's an easy process. Again, I used a 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗟𝗦, since it gives total control of the temperature, nothing evaporates and all flavors infuse nicely. So add everything into a 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗟𝗦 bag. Water, white sugar, demerara sugar, caramel sugar, which I show how to make in the original episode, caramel coloring, grated lemon, lime and orange peels, citric and malic acids. Then the ingredients that get crushed before going in, sale and cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla bean, coriander seeds, rosehip, coffee, kola nut, and makrut lime leaves. Grind into a powder and add to the rest, before vacuum sealing the bag and placing it in the 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗟𝗦 bath for 1.5 hours at 80 degrees Celsius or 175 degrees Fahrenheit. After that, make sure to filter out all of the small particles, and you've got your very own Kevin Cola syrup. To bottle your own cola, I suggest using 7 ounce or 200 ml bottles and adding 1 ounce or 30 ml of our cola syrup with 2 drops of saline solution and gently topping it up with cold soda water. Then seal the bottles with a bottle capper, add a label, and that's it. And like mentioned, for the holiday season we came up with a new label, which you can download. The new name was suggested by one of you, and it makes sense. The kola nut is spelled with a K, just like my last name. And like mentioned in the original episode, if making your own cola syrup seems like too much, Liber & Co have this one in their arsenal too, and it makes a great Cuba Libre. I can tell you that. So what if the person is not into making homemade stuff? Well, there's still plenty of great and useful stuff for everyone who likes cocktails. Starting with quality barware. Often someone starting the cocktail journey will buy or even be gifted the cheapest cocktail set out there. You know the one. Low quality Cobbler shaker, jigger without any measurements, hot on strainer that doesn't really strain much. So when you get a quality piece of gear for someone, it can mean a lot. Even if it's just a good weighted shaker set, a style of jigger that someone really likes, a good sturdy mixing glass, quality strainers, or something that you know is missing from the collection, of someone that has a passion for cocktails. So no need to buy everything and break the bank, and a free worldwide shipping certainly helps with that, right? That's right, I said worldwide shipping. I partnered with the Bar Supplies to get you a 20% discount on all barware on their site, until the end of the year. enter the code CocktailTime20 at checkout on thebarsupplies.com or use the link in the description. What about books? Marcus Tullius Cicero, a Roman statesman, famously said, "A home bar without books is like a body without a soul." Maybe he said a room without books. But you know, same thing. And there are many excellent books out there about cocktails, spirits and drinking, so I've narrowed them down to 6 to make it just a bit easier to decide on the right one. World-renowned bartender, blogger, author, and I'm proud to say a friend of the channel, Jeffrey Morgenthaler, has the perfect book for anyone that's just learning about the world of spirits, cocktails and drinking in general, called Drinking Distilled. If you're looking for something more detailed for bartenders, professionals or home enthusiasts, go for the bar book. For someone that has mastered all essential techniques, the next step is Liquid Intelligence by Dave Arnold, mentioned at the start of the episode. Arnold thinks like a scientist and will take you behind the bar and into the lab. It will change how you think about cocktails. Speaking of changing the points of views, when combining flavors for cocktails, you'll always have something new to learn from the amazing 2018 book Flavor Matrix by James Briscione and Brooke Parkhurst. Not primarily a cocktail book, but I've created many a cocktail with the help from these pages. But if someone is interested about the very beginnings of mixed drinks, David Wondrich and his Imbibe is the way to go. It also contains more than 100 recipes for punches, cocktails, sours, fizzes, toddies, slings, and other essential drinks, along with detailed historical and mixological notes, with a section focused on Jerry Thomas, father of the American bar. And finally, the hottest cocktail book at the moment, fresh off the press, Steve the Bartender's Cocktail Guide. Steve and his gentle smile while he violently shakes the drinks has won the hearts of cocktail lovers on YouTube, and his book is bound to do the same. It covers all of the basics, before beautifully showcasing a variety of cocktails you can make at home, with the help of his videos, no less. If you're not sure about how advanced the book you're buying should be, go with this one. It's new, useful, and beautiful. Honestly, all amazing books, so you can't go wrong with either one of these. And lastly, 2 ideas if you're looking for something special for someone that you happen to know is a fan of this show. 1. Make them a part of Cocktail Time. Become our top tier patron and place their name on the Cocktail Time Wall of Fame. They'll see their name at the end of our episode, when I'll place it on a brick of your choice, with a thank you to both of you for your support. Additionally, we've also added a Wall of Fame subpage on kevincause.com, where you can see all active members and the episodes in which they were featured. You'll find the link to our Patreon there as well. And lastly, for someone who needs an idea on where to take their cocktail journey next, their very own personal Cocktail Time consultancy. Give them a full hour one-on-one session with me, when they can ask me anything they think I can help them with. We can talk about bartending, cocktails, trends, techniques, even YouTube, or we can just chat about life. Find the link in the description below, or go to consultancy on kevincause.com and use the code December10 for 10% off. Hopefully this wasn't too much and you found the right idea for that special someone, or even for yourself. I think you deserve something nice this holiday season too. We appreciate you being with us and we wish you a season filled with hope, joy and delicious cocktails. Cheers, friends of cocktails.